welcome back to the All Things Fun Hydrographics YouTube channel. Today we're going to start our very first project video series. This is episode number 1. Stick around, we're going to show you what it is, and I think you guys are really going to like it.
Allow me to introduce you to Project Bottomland Bateau.
So for those of you that are not from Louisiana or have never been there before, you might not have ever heard the word bateau before. So let me go ahead and explain to you what it is. Bateau is a French word that literally means boat. Down in Louisiana, where I'm from, normally that is what they refer to as a john boat. You go down there, it's not called john boat, it's called bateau. So flat bottom boat, john boat, that's what a bateau is. So the redneck backstory to it is, many moons ago, some people came over here that weren't from around here that wound up in Louisiana. It was swampy as hell, so they had to come up with something to get around because a regular boat wouldn't work, so they came up with the bateau. And it means boat. So there you go. History lesson over. So I'm calling this project Bottomland Bateau because, well, we're working on a boat, and a bateau is a boat. And I'm calling it Bottomland because that's what we're going to put on it. Mossy Oak, old school Bottomland. It's one of my favorite camo patterns. And for those of you that don't know, Mossy Oak comes from Louisiana, which is where they call it a bateau and not a boat. So that's why we're going to call it Bottomland Bateau instead of Bottomland Boat. Make sense? See how that works? So quick backstory on the boat and why we're doing this project. Several years ago, purchased this boat down in South Georgia. It was a really good deal. It was $800 with the boat and the trailer. So snagged it up as quick as I could, got it back to the house. It's been sitting ever since. I've been waiting to start on this project right here. So the boat, according to the registration, was built in 1979. It is a Low Industries aluminum 16-foot, 48-inch wide flat bottom john boat. Now it's not a true flat bottom. It does have some small ribs that run down it, but that's what you get, bateau john boat. That's kind of what they look like. So you may be asking yourself, he has a Hydrographics YouTube channel. Why is he doing a john boat build? Well, to do Hydrographics, the first thing you have to do is paint. The Hydrographics sticks to the paint. That's how it works. If you haven't seen my video on how Hydrographics works, I'll leave a link to it right above. But painting is a service that we offer as well. If you got something that you want painted, that's a project that we can handle. Now we are going to be doing a lot of dipping in this project series. Unfortunately, I can't dip the entire boat. It's too big and too heavy and I can't get it into the tank. So we are going to be doing a custom paint job on it. But everything that we can get into the tank, we're going to dip. Now, while I do want to show everyone that we can do custom paint jobs and you might see something that you like, I also want to kind of appeal to the people that are into DIY. That's what got me into doing john boats in the first place. I enjoy doing it because of YouTube channels that I watched before I was a YouTuber that got me wanting to build my own john boat. Channels like Top Gun John Boat with Anthony Jones, Tiny Boat Nation, Fire Ant Fishing, those guys are the ones that gave me the information and the inspiration that I needed to start doing my own john boat builds. Now this isn't my first one, I've done a few before, but this one is going to be just all out wild. So we are going to go through the process as much as we can step by step, show you the materials that we use, show you the techniques that we use, and show you the build from start to finish.
So I don't particularly remember a whole lot about the guy I bought this boat from, but for the sake of this conversation, let's just call him Scooter. So after cleaning this boat up, I come to realize that Scooter went to somewhere down south university and decided to pursue a degree. I'm pretty sure it was a master's degree, and I'm almost certain that it was a major in redneck engineering. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So Scooter decided that he was sitting too low in the back of the boat, needed to raise this seat up just a hair. Well, instead of getting a proper bracket, a couple of pine 2x6s were just a ticket. So as you'll see right here, Scooter was a master electrician as well, decided that he needed to put in this little bus bar to tie in some wires. But there's no way to attach it without putting a piece of fence post on the side of the boat and screwing it in from the outside with some giant 3-inch deck screws. Scooter, you're the man. I truly believe that Scooter was an avid outdoorsman because you never know when nature's going to call. And sometimes nature calls when you're on a boat. So why not install a toilet paper holder with a giant bolt drilled in through the side of the boat? So Scooter liked to stay on the right side of the law. He knew he had to have a light at night in order to run this boat. Good thinking, Scooter. So instead of drilling into this transom bracket, he decided to put a bunch of giant deck screws into this deck board that's pressure treated and mount his light mount to it. So everyone knows, including Scooter, that it gets quite hot out on the water sometimes. Got to keep some cold drinks in a cooler. But what if you don't want to take up any more deck space? What do? Scooter had the perfect idea. He cut a giant hole in this middle bench, took the foam out, and installed his trusty Coleman right here in the middle. Oh, but wait, there's more. So in all of Scooter's infinite wisdom, he decided that it would make no sense to take this cooler in and out of the boat every time he got home from the river. What did he do? He installed a drain right through the cooler and right out the bottom of the boat. But better yet, gotta have something to plug that drain. What better than an Arbor Mist wine cork attached to an old piece of electrical wire? Good job, Scooter. So even though Scooter took his time and made some vast improvements to this John boat, we got some work we gotta do. Let's go through some of the things that we gotta get fixed. So this transom's not in the greatest shape. It's not terrible, but it needs some work. It seems to be just a big, like, 2x6 or 2x8. Not really sure what size it is, but it's starting to crack up here in the ends. Don't really know what kind of condition it's in. The top plate has started to crack away from this plate, and the corners of the transom brackets are starting to crack in the weld. So we're going to need to replace all this and beef it up for the motor that I have planned for this project. So I'm not really sure why, but in several places on this boat, there's pieces of like 2x4s or fence pickets or little small pieces of wood that have been drilled in through the outside with like really big deck screws. So we're gonna have to pull those off and repair all the holes. There's a bunch of holes in the back of the transom where they had pulled old bolts out, put new ones in, and then taken them out again. We just got a lot of holes we gotta weld up. So there's gonna be a bunch of brazing and welding going on this boat to get it back into shape. So I'm not at all knocking the paint on this boat. I'm sure that at one point in its life, this thing was rocking some Budweiser and stripper glitter like you ain't never seen before. But it's 2019, it's gotta go. We can fix it. We're gonna make it look awesome. The only problem is I did a little test right here just to try to strip some of the paint off and see how much paint exactly is on this boat. It appears it's got about 4 or 5 layers. From what I can tell, you got this outer green layer, there's a white layer underneath it, then you got the original light green, like that John boat kind of green color, and then someone painted over the top of that with another darker, like an OD type green. And then of course you got the red and white pinstripes down the side. So we got a lot of paint to strip off. So let us not forget the giant hole in the bottom of the boat that we're going to have to weld back up because Scooter needed a drain for his cooler. All right, so let's go over the tentative plans for this boat and what I think is going to wind up working. These may change along the way once we actually get started building, but for now, this is the direction that I kind of want to take it. You look here at the overall view of the boat. This is how it's kind of currently laid out. So the first thing we're going to do is rip out this bench seat up front, and we're going to put in a deck that is not all the way flush with the top, but maybe an inch or two below. And it's going to cover the entire front half of the boat and just going to stop at the rib that I have that is just before the current bench seat setup. And we're going to move the trolling motor. I haven't decided if we're going to put it directly in the middle or kind of angled so that it comes out in the middle, but I like to have the trolling motor in the center of the boat instead of off to one side or another to correct for any pull that the trolling motor may have.
We're also going to be putting a rail system about knee height all the way around the front end of the boat so that we can mount LED bow fishing lights. We're going to go all battery powered LEDs on this one. We're not going to have a generator. So to help weigh the boat out evenly, I'm going to move the starting battery for the motor up to the front of the boat, as well as the 2 trolling motor batteries. Now I'm using 2 trolling motor batteries because this is a 24 volt trolling motor, and the LED lights that I have picked out are also 24 volt as well, so we'll wire those up so that it can run the whole 24 volt system. And closer to the back side of the deck, towards the middle of the boat, we're going to add a pedestal mount for a seat. The rest of the area that's left on the front of the deck is going to be used for storage. I'm going to do some hatches. I'm not going to go crazy and put a ton of hatches in it, but I do want some access to the underneath portion so that we can get to the storage area. So taking a look here at the back end of the boat, so I want to take this bench seat out and put in not really a deck, but a little bit of a storage system, and it's going to do a couple of things. It's going to cover the gas tanks as well as add some additional storage, plus give me some space to put on my controls and stuff. We're going to be running a dual gas tank system. I'll explain why later when we get into the motor, but I am going to leave the motor a mystery for right now. This is going to be a very cool motor build that has never been seen before on YouTube. I've never seen it before on YouTube, searched forever, couldn't find anything like it, so we're going to wait to reveal that once we get to the motor episode. So I'm going to have 2 options for seats, one on each side of the boat, so you can move the seat and move it to whichever side you feel more comfortable sitting on when you're driving. There's kind of an overall look at how things are going to be laid out. Now everything in the middle is going to be a low floor system so that you don't have to step over any ribs in the boat. So I am going to make some side panels that will kind of cover the ribs on each side of the boat in between the front and the back deck. It'll give me a little bit of storage space, not really looking for a rod locker type storage, but just a little bit of storage space maybe for like a paddle or some longer items like the light pole for the back. But most importantly, this is going to cover up the area where I'm going to be tying into the side of the boat for the grab handle system, because you're absolutely going to need some grab handles for the motor that we're going to be putting on this boat. So I know we didn't do any dipping today, but I really hope that you enjoyed the intro to the Bottomland Bateau project. It's going to be a lot of fun watching it progress through the video series, and it's going to be really cool when it's done. So if you like today's video, make sure that you go below and smash that thumbs up button. We appreciate every single like that we get. Also consider subscribing. That way you can be notified every time we come out with a new video. You'll get notifications on every video in this series, as well as our normal videos that we put out every week. If you got something that you want to get dipped, you can check out our website, atfhydrographics.com. There we have all of our contact information and different ways that you can get a free quote, as well as a huge pattern gallery of all the patterns like these that we have available that you can put on your project. If you'd like to help support the channel, the best way you can do that is by using our affiliate links that I have left down in the description to Amazon and Brownells. There you will find things that we use here in the shop every day and recommended products from us. And if you're into the social media thing, make sure that you check us out on Facebook and Instagram. There you'll find weekly pictures and videos of customer projects, as well as notifications every time we come out with a new video on YouTube. So that is going to do it for this week's video. I hope everyone enjoyed watching. We'll be back next week with our normal dipping videos, and I will fill you guys in on how Project Bottomland Bateau is coming along, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, let me get out of here without breaking a hip. Bottomland is the pattern that we're going to be put on this. Also consider subscribing. That way you can keep tabs. You better not be keeping tabs on me, cuz. Yeah, totally not sitting on this until I clean it. Ew. And that's what we're working on. It's a boat. And yeah, I don't know how I'm going to make all this circle back around, but whatever. Out with a new video in this series and our normal regular. No.
Ooh, holy crap. Oh, that was almost bad.
So many moons ago, French came over here from wherever the hell France is at. I need a globe. Why do I not have a globe? I don't know where France is. You have a Hydrographics YouTube channel. Why are you doing a John boat build? Easy. Because I want to. You have a Hydrographics YouTube channel. Why are you doing a John boat build? I'll tell you why. Because America.
This trailer is really sketchy.
This project, several years ago, I said, So quick backstory on the boat and exactly why we're doing this project. Several years ago, I said, oh, again, oh my God, really? I thought I was over this. YouTube channel. Why are you doing a John boat build? Easy. Because I can. And if you're into social media, make sure you check us out on Bookface and Instagram. I said Bookface again, I gotta stop doing that. I just got myself out of saying Bateau, and now I'm saying Bookface. I enjoyed it. We will be back to our regular scheduled programming.